Welcome back to Finding Haleness. My name is Heidi, and I have to talk a little quiet this video because my kids are all in church, but my baby fell asleep, so he's sleeping, and I'm taking full advantage of it. A couple of things I want to address first that people have messaged me about and wondered what the heck. First, what the heck is haleness? So I chose the word haleness because it kind of encompassed everything I'm going for. The definition of it is a state of healthiness or robust good health or soundness. So all those things that I want and I'm looking for. So it was perfect, and it wasn't taken. You know how like everything you ever type in to make a new email account, or I found out a YouTube channel, everybody has already thought of something. So anyway, that wasn't taken, and the definition was perfect. So that's why it's called Finding Haleness. Second thing, somebody had messaged me and they were confused about the egg aversion. So I had said I have an egg aversion, but the eggs were like a huge part of my diet, and they're both true. So I have had blood work done in the past where it did show that I was pretty severely allergic to egg white. Egg yolk was on there as well, but egg white was really high. But unlike gluten, when I eat that and it is so severe, my reaction, I'm in so much pain, and I can tell immediately I ate gluten. That wasn't the case with eggs. There were times, like let's say I ate eggs on an empty stomach, like for breakfast first thing. That would cause discomfort, but it still was nothing compared to when I would eat gluten. So since my diet was pretty limited already, eggs was still just something I ate because it wasn't that bad most of the time. I'll have an aversion to a lot of things that I was eating that maybe I either knew because of past blood work or stuff that's new that I had no idea, like iron and calcium and vitamin D. I didn't know that I was not absorbing those or using them the way I should. So there'll be a mix of both. Some I knew, some I didn't. Okay, so the rest of this episode is going to be exactly what N.A.E.T is, because I realized I didn't really go over that before. N.A.E.T stands for, and I'm going to butcher his name. So the N is for the doctor's last name, and it's Nambudrapad. That's his last name. So that Dr. Nambudrapad, allergy elimination technique. So I had said that it was new, but I only meant it was new to me. This technique he founded in 1982, so it's not new at all. He was really ill, and so he started kind of testing himself with these new techniques to see if it would work, and he had an amazing recovery, which you can read about. It's really cool. If you look at thousands of years of homeopathy stuff and how we just abandoned that within a matter of a few decades, and how much sicker people have gotten in general, I started to do some digging and research. So I'm going to read something to you real quick because it's the easiest way to explain it. So according to the principles of Chinese medicine, a sensitivity or allergy is a condition whereby the allergen causes a blockage in the body's energy channels or meridians. So when you hear me say the word meridian and how the body, or meridian therapy, that's where the term comes from, where Chinese medicine breaks the body down into 12 different meridians, and each meridian focuses on different things, obviously. Symptoms of allergic reactions result from this blockage, and after continued exposure to the allergens, the internal organs of the body become weak and susceptible to new allergic reactions, which makes it even worse. So you're already allergic and you don't know it, and you keep eating it or being exposed to it, and then it opens you up to even more reactions that you wouldn't necessarily have had you fixed the original one. So then a vicious cycle ensues, and the body becomes increasingly weak as the immune system is continuously aggravated. And that I can absolutely attest to, especially when it comes to gluten. The more I ate it, or the more I was exposed to it, the worse it got, to the point of if I touch it, my fingers start to peel. Dr. Nambudrapad discovered that it was possible to eliminate adverse allergic reactions from any known substance. So not just food, but chemicals, pollen, grass, like whatever the substance is, he figured out how to eliminate the reaction, which is pretty amazing. So this process, and I kind of went over this in a different video, but it involves having the patient hold an allergy sample in his or her hand simultaneous to the practitioner stimulating various acupressure points on the patient's body. So that's where I said he uses his activator up and down the back of my spine and on my hands and arms and feet to activate those meridians and those pressure points. Then vital energy is restored to the body and a new message is imprinted on the brain. It's pretty incredible how the body knows what to do if you know what body parts need to be activated. It is this recoding that prevents the body from reacting abnormally from future exposures to the same substance, which is why you have to wait those 25 hours so that your 12 meridians have their chance to reset. Otherwise, if you are exposed to it or eat it during that time, you'll probably have to have the treatment redone for that one. So they feel very confident now that they can treat any sensitivity, allergy, or intolerance with this method and eliminate symptoms permanently. Now, we did talk about my celiac disease, and I said, look, is it even possible to heal my celiac disease through this? And he said, yes. However, everybody's different. It depends on how long you've had the allergy, how bad the damage is done from the allergy before you figured out what it was, and just kind of how your body responds to the treatment. So some people have been completely cured of celiac disease. Others have been helped to a point where they can eat it, just not very much of it. And then there's others who still can't eat it, but if they are exposed to it by accident, their reaction is so much less severe. So even if that's all I got, where I still can't eat it, but if I could touch it, for example, without my hands peeling or have cross-contamination and not be in severe pain, that would be amazing in and of itself. So I never plan on going back to gluten completely anyway, even if it was cured, because gluten's just really not good for you anyway, which we all know now. But the other side of that is a lot of studies are showing that it isn't actually the gluten that people are allergic to or having these reactions to, but it is the glyphosate that is sprayed on the wheat that is actually the culprit. So if you are going to eat wheat, maybe try and only do organic or very, very clean wheat. That way you may never have a reaction. And we'll talk about celiac in another one, because there's so much more to it about grains and how they've changed over the decades and millennia, and how we have processed them and crossbred them and changed them, which is another reason why there's so much intolerance to it, because it is not natural what we eat now. Okay, so the practitioner starts with a series of 10 treatments that address the most common food allergies. This basic treatment covers various food groups, including egg mix, calcium. So calcium apparently is pretty common. Sugar mix, grain mix, and 6 other food categories in order to address the complexity of allergic reactions. So although most people do find their symptoms and discomfort disappear following the basic program, not every patient recovers completely. So I am prepared for that, where I may not recover completely, especially from gluten, but if it helps a little bit or a lot or a medium amount, I would be happy with it. So he says that both environmental and emotional sensitivities may also need to be removed in a similar manner in order to fully recover. So that is what NAET is, and it's pretty amazing. And if you have ever looked into Chinese medicine or any type of Eastern medicine, it is very different than what we do here in the States or in any other first world country, where it's very not natural based. But the way our bodies work and the way we're wired and the way we were created, our bodies are amazing. We know that by flexing your muscles, by working out, just flexing those muscles releases proteins into your bloodstream that are literal antidepressants that go up to your brain, which is why they say work out if you're depressed. It actually does help. Your body is its own pharmacy if you know how to use it. And that's where this technique is amazing, as well as many others that are natural and safe without all those side effects. Our bodies know exactly what to do. We just have to give it the things that it needs and use it the way that it was intended to be used. And our body creates exactly what we need, just like with breastfeeding. You kiss your baby. Moms always want to kiss their babies because any type of pathogen or germ or anything on your baby's skin goes on your lips, gets into your bloodstream or into your body, which then tells your body, hey, your baby has this around them or is sick with this or whatever, and your breast milk will then create the correct like antibodies to fight whatever it is. Like our bodies know what they're doing. We just need to give them the right tools to help it, because we are bombarded with chemicals and dyes and fragrances and all types of toxicities everywhere. You can't avoid it. You can do your best, but you cannot fully avoid it. So I'm really excited to do more treatments. And I know I've talked about my headaches being gone, but I can't fully explain in words how amazing that is. So Danny works in a different state. We've been living apart for quite a while, and he actually came home for a few days last week or the week before when my migraines were so bad, because my mom was helping me, but I didn't really tell anybody how bad it was, and he kind of sensed it, and so he came home and was shocked to see how bad it actually was. The house had gone to complete crap. It was so messy. We were living off of cereal and sandwiches and freezer meals, which I never do. I couldn't even like stand up long enough to cook him a good meal. And I was laying down or sitting down as often as I could. And most of the time I was just fighting back tears from the pain, and just, it was a rough week for other reasons anyway. And so just all of that combined really was like pushing me over the edge. And I think Danny sensed that. And so he came home to help so that I could get some rest and hopefully try to kick the headaches. But it wasn't until my first treatment that the headaches left. Danny had already left by that point. And when I went in for my first treatment, I still had a headache that day. And by the next morning, it was completely gone. And I have not had one since. And it's been 6 days. So I'll post more. I have a video that I already did about my Friday's treatment, and that also covers how Wednesdays went. So I'll post those too. But I wanted to clear up exactly what N.A.E.T is before I kept telling you all about these treatments and not even telling you guys what the heck they are. So till next time, enjoy this, and we'll see you soon.